interrupt our normal broadcast here at Hunting for Healthy to let you know about the poop stories. It's an emergency broadcast and it's very important. I kept playing that off in my head. Welcome back to Hunting for Healthy. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for being here. This is definitely a different video, but I had to have a moment where I was just real with you guys about why videos have not gone up and what is going on, because it's been literal hell. So I have a history of obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cholesterol issues, as well as ulcerative colitis, IBS, Crohn's disease, all that kind of stuff, and hemorrhoids in my family. Now, I do think that is more lifestyle based and things that you eat with your familia and things that you're taught as a child. So at 19 years old, 18, 19, I got my first hemorrhoid. Now, hemorrhoids, there's like 3 different kinds. One is like an internal one, which is, it's inflammation and pain, and they can bleed. So it bleeds out of your anus or out of your rectum when you go to the bathroom, and it's very, very painful. They can be itchy, they can be hot. There's a lot of different kind of symptoms with that, with the internal ones. And then you have like external ones, which is essentially like a small blister on the outside portion of your anus. And we're like, where your butt's wrinkly. We all have a butt, we all poop, okay? So let's have a little bit of maturity here and be able to talk about this. And the third one is a prolapsed vein. So a vein gets so inflamed inside of the anus that it actually comes out of your anus and it is protruding out of your body. So as you can imagine, that's very uncomfortable. You can't lay down, you can't sit down, you can't walk, you can't move really, depending on how far the prolapse is. And I got my very first one, a very small, minor prolapse one, when I was 19 years old, when James and I first met. And I had already been interested in health and diet and nutrition, and I was just determined to not be on steroids and medications, other things like that, and to heal it with diet. And you have to also think of your lifestyle. And so for 10 years, I am now 29, I did not have another one until I didn't listen to my body and to my own advice, because I'm not perfect. You know, it's hard to stay when you have all these temptations in your life. So I was working 60 hours a week with no lunch breaks. It was very physical labor. It was outdoors. I did go off keto. I went to a crawfish boil. I ate potatoes. I ate corn. I ate flour and wheat and chips and all the things that I say you shouldn't eat that cause inflammation of the intestines as well as your anus and your rectum and your colon. It's all of it's bad. I ate sugars. I ate flours. I ate brownies. I had Coke. I had a Coca-Cola. I don't even know the last time I had a Coca-Cola was. I had corn nuts and a bunch of other things. So I did those things, and then I pushed my body too hard. So I got a baby hemorrhoid again, and I hadn't had one in 10 years. And I was like, okay, so I took it easy, went back on keto, kind of like slowed down, drinking more water, eating more foods with seeds in them, taking better care of myself. And then I got really, really, really sick. I had diarrhea. That was so bad, it gave me the hemorrhoids again. I lost like 10, 15 pounds, and I was literally sick. I could not walk, could not move, and I was bleeding rectally while I was having diarrhea. I literally thought I was having liquid fire come out of my bum. It was the most sick I've ever been, and I actually have some videos and some photos that I may or may not enter. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Very sick. I wanted this to be as real as possible. So hemorrhoids and constipation and diarrhea affect 75 to 80% of Americans. So this is something that is not talked about. This is something that is not talked about. This is something that is not discussed, and it is something that really needs to be addressed. So I will say that there is, on my channel, we talk about meals, movement, and mentality. Meals, obviously, your health and what you inject. Movement actually helps with regular bowel movements, and your mentality about it and how you stay away from the foods, how you talk to yourself, your stress levels, things, everything. Nothing lives in a vacuum, and everything that we want to do is possible, but we just have to really think about lifestyle as a whole, not just by itself. And I didn't listen to my body, and I pushed too hard, and I worked too many hours, and I didn't listen to what it was telling me. And I think that that's so strong in our culture, that when we're sick, we're just supposed to push through because we're tough. I mean, what if we lived in a culture that was like, oh my gosh, she came to work sick, like she's crazy, like why is she here, she's gonna infect everybody, she needs to go home and take care of herself. But we don't live in that culture. We live in that, man, she's so awesome. She pushed through, or he pushed through, and they came to work and they didn't bail on us. And I really think that there's a whole dynamic shift mentality-wise and culturally-wise that we need to address. So I am starting a new series. I am doing personalized coaching. I will provide a PDF or format below for you to print up, and I can do another video talking about home remedies and what you can do to alleviate constipation, diarrhea, and how I healed and cured my hemorrhoids. So I hope that this was informative to you. This is longer than I want it to be, so I probably will redo it.